Hi there, this is NikitaNet, and what we've got on the bench today is a little project I am continuing. This is a fan that I've taken apart and we need to put back together. So, let's switch over to the other camera and let's get started. So, like stated in the introduction, we've got a nice little ventilator right here. I've taken it apart and that's not really relevant further than, well, ventilators can be taken apart, but they are designed differently, well, from manufacturer, from style, from, well, whatever type you might have. There are a couple of universals and there are other videos about how to take these things apart. We are going to focus on the following. Quickly talk about how I've cleaned this rather nice and spiffy looking ventilator and how we are going to put it back together, because there is a rub, and that is very simple. It is an Arctic Cooling 12 volt 0.16 amp ventilator, the 8 centimeter variety, and here is its housing, which I cleaned up very nicely, if I say so myself. Now, as you can see, this part is cleaned completely, or at least as best as can be, because there's still a little bit of muck here, but it's been dunked in, well, water, hot water with washing up detergent, like for cleaning the dishes, which meant that all the nastiness was able to just float away into that, well, bath of water, one could say. That means, however, that all the lubrication that was on this axle has been, well, also washed off. There is still a little bit in here, and this is the point of this video. We need to get that old stuff out there and put on some very nice Valvoline multi-purpose grease NLGI-2. Yes, a very large can, right? A very large can. Oh, one of the wonderful things about this stuff is the color. Don't mistake this for food, although you could almost say this is exactly the same color as some flavors of ice cream, raspberry for example. Smelling it, thankfully it does smell like grease, and it has lithium in it, so it is proper stuff, right? So let's put the lid back on, because first of all we do need to take some Q-tips, and it's not ideal to do this with Q-tips, but I am going to try to get some of this old grease out. And as you can see, it has darkened up a little bit. Dust and muck, right? And we don't need to get everything out, but if we can get out a little bit, that is very nice. So, fiddle around a bit. Yes, the last of it seems to be gone. So, now the trick will be to put this very nice grease on. Some of these fans, as I've looked on multiple videos, have retainer clips on this side of the shaft. This one doesn't, however. It is held in place by this, well, by this, how should I say this? This part of the shaft. Yes, you see that little indent? There is, well, a little indent in there, and this just locks behind it, which also means this is a very difficult fan to take apart, because you do need to have quite a bit of pressure on the blades to pop it out, as to say. So for that I would recommend, at least with this design, and you find that out by taking off the sticker, there's no well, C-clip here, right? So it has to be pushed out because it's pushed in by the manufacturer, right? But to push it out, these blades are quite sharp and they are dusty already. But take a couple of these to, well, post-its, tear them up, fold them over a couple of times, and then put that like in there, right? and you have some safe surface to push on. So let's stop rambling and do a little trick. Nice clean surface with a nice clean handle, and let's get some grease. Let's see how much we will put on there. Well, this is nice stuff, because I do want this axle to be very nicely lubricated. So this should in fact be enough. However, yeah, look at that color. I am going to add a little bit more. Oh, that's quite a bit more. A little bit, I said. Right. Just to make sure that we have enough on there. That looks like quite a bit. And since this is a nice pointy stick, let's put it in the hole as well. And we don't need that much. I think this should suffice. Yes, that looks quite nice. Ooh, that's a little bit much. So let's just plop that in there, as you can see, and grab this thing and clean up the mess we've just made. And let's see if we can push it in without creating a vacuum. Yeah, that's a little bit much. Oh well. Oh, I'm seeing a little bit here, which I don't want it to be. Right? Small stuff does matter. So, ooh, that slipped in quite nicely, and now I'm going to stand and push it in. There it is. Oh wow, what a difference. Because of course there's a ball on the other side of that shaft. It pushes in quite nicely, and ooh, that feels quite slick. So I do have to do one thing, and that is copy over this information, Arctic and 12 volt and 0.16 amps, to know how much amperage this thing takes, and as well what manufacturer it was, although it is for me within my collection of fans very recognizable. And we need to start dusting it right away. These things are dust traps. That's part of the reason why it was so dirty, and I didn't want to use it before cleaning it. So one fan ready for production, and I will test this thing before letting it run unattended. Be sure of that and do that yourself. So this is Nikita Net saying, I hope you like this video. Like or dislike this video at your pleasure, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and please do subscribe to the channel, because that's very important and very helpful. So this is Nikita Net saying, thanks for watching. Bye bye.